MouseHunt. Welcome to Feedback Friday. It's March 28th. There we go. It's March 28th, 2025. Yeah, I think I got the date right. Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Welcome on in. A little bit early. It's an early Feedback Friday this week. Just a little bit early. Hello, Isa? If I'm saying that right. Murphy, welcome on in. Looks like you're looking forward to the spring egg hunt. And we'll touch base on the spring egg hunt just a little bit. Welcome on in, Air. YX, Dave, what'd you have for breakfast? I haven't had anything yet, actually. Matt, looking real ratty, bro. All right, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I guess I'll take it. Fleming, welcome on in. I got the date right. It's a good start. It's a good start when you know what day it is. It's 50-50 whether or not you're going to KDM. Grant, welcome on in. Good morning. Aaron, good afternoon to you. Mike, you haven't tuned in for so long. Well, welcome on in. Glad you could join us this week. Maybe because it was a little bit early. A different time slot. Mix things up a little bit. Camel, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Izaku, nice to see you. Long time no see. Well, welcome on in. Thanks for joining us. Had coffee for breakfast. I guess that counts. It's black coffee. There's no calories. Is it really breakfast if there's no calories in there? I don't know. These are some important questions, I think. Chris, welcome. Nice to see you as well. Summer, good morning. You just finished your coffee. Well, it sounds like it's time for a second coffee then, if you ask me. Jason, welcome on in. Well, like I said, we're going to touch base on the spring egg hunt because it's just around the corner. It begins next week as well. The birthday is over, and what's next? Well, the spring egg hunt, which is kind of the final event of event season, at least in terms of those predictable recurring events. The spring egg hunt kind of marks the end of event season. You know, starts with Halloween, ends in the egg hunt. So there's a giveaway around the corner too. I think that counts as an event. But even a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that it would be beginning on April 1st. That is this coming Tuesday. So just one more weekend and a day to go. 11 new eggs to discover. And actually what might be worth noting is there's kind of in a way 12. If you look right here, there's an egg sweeper egg. And this year we're adding a tier 6 egg. And that tier 6 egg is going to be for Viceroy and above. So that would include the Beanstalk, School of Sorcery, Draconic Depths. Now, if you recall last year, the tier 5 egg did have some Beanstalk things in it. So as you can imagine, the tier 5 egg is going to be updated to just go up to Archduke. And then the tier 5 will be Viceroy and above, if there should be an area at one point. Viceroy is the highest ranked area at the moment. So one thing you may want to take note of is if you wait and you open up, if you have any tier 5 eggs right now in your inventory, if you open them after this spring egg hunt starts, so if you open them after April 1st, they will no longer contain that Beanstalk stuff, which means they're more likely to contain some of the Archduke things. Or sorry, did I say that? Yeah, if you wait after. If you do that after the spring egg hunt starts, that update will be applied to any eggs that are currently in your inventory. So if you do have some tier 5 eggs and you'd prefer to get some Beanstalk stuff from those eggs, you may want to open those up this weekend or Monday. You know, do not wait until the day of release. Or if you would prefer to get more things for, say, Floating Islands and Valor Rift, that sort of thing, then wait until after the egg hunt starts. And when you open them up, you'll be more likely to see those things because the beans will be removed. And then the tier 6 egg will be something brand new that you'll be able to find from Egg Sweeper this year. So that's one little note. You can kind of decide for yourself if you think it's best to open your tier 5 eggs now or wait until after the event begins. Fleming, you're worried about an April Fool's joke that the egg hunt won't start until next Tuesday. I don't know. That seems like a bit of a mean trick, not a fun one. Even doesn't start. We just keep getting new ones, eh? How many hunters can be on each scavenger hunt map? Well, YX much similar to other scavenger hunts, are pretty the only other type of scavenger hunt, 6. So you can have 6 people on one of these new scavenger hunt style maps. They're just called an egg hunt. I mean, but they are a scavenger hunt. When you see them, the scroll cases, let me just read that off actually. What are they called? Yeah, so for example, the Over Easy Egg Hunt scroll case begins an Over Easy Egg Hunt. And you go on a little egg hunt with your friends, basically. So it all kind of thematically ties in well, that's for sure. We can even load this up. We can run through one or two as well. But as I noted over there are 4 difficulties of these scrolls. They're going to be available in Lady Lore's chocolate shop, and they're sold for chocolatonium. So you can begin one of these maps by spending chocolatonium to get a scroll case. And when you open it up, you can invite up to 5 other people to join you for a total of 6. Purchasing the scroll case has these requirements that I've listed over here. So an over easy requires Knight to purchase the scroll case, and the highest rank of area that you'll have to visit is Knight, and that's why you have to be a Knight to open it. Kind of rule of thumb is if you can purchase a scroll case, then you should be able to solo the map. That's kind of what we strive to do wherever possible. That said, if you have a friend, say you're not Knight, maybe you are brand new, you're apprentice, you can't get a scroll case from the shop, but you can be invited to the Knight maps because you could help someone else out with that. So these are kind of these are the title requirements, or the breakdown of title requirements for each difficulty level of the over easy, medium hard, and extreme. And as you can imagine, they will have more higher level difficult mice on them. Each of them has more mice than the previous one as well, so it both increases a bit in difficulty as well as length. Vaughn, welcome on in. We have an early Feedback Friday this week. Indeed, mixing things up a little bit. I have an appointment, so I thought, well, rather than cancel, we can just be an hour early. Hopefully that wasn't too large of an inconvenience. How many mice can we expect for each map difficulty? And we'll tell you what, that might be a good time to load this up and take a look. Let's see if we can find that. There we go. So here in our handy test environment, have the spring egg hunt up and running. And we can visit Lady Laura's chocolate shop. And yeah, I've unlocked quite a few shelves here. So you can see they're for sale in Lady Laura's chocolate shop. The over easy costs 40 chocolatonium, and it's on the first shelf. And the extreme, which is the more difficult map, costs 150 chocolatonium, and it is on the 4th shelf. So every time you unlock a shelf, you'll gain access to a new tier of map. Why don't we do the over easy to start? We do have a max inventory limit of 1. And as you can see here, you need to be a Knight to purchase the scroll case. So now we have an event map, an over easy egg hunt scroll case. Pop that open, and there are 15 mice on that map to obtain an over easy treasure chest. So as you can imagine, relatively straightforward, you know, but like many other maps, there's maybe one more difficult mouse on the map and some more kind of standard mice. Maybe a tricky, you know, might be 1 or 2 that are a little bit more rare, and kind of pull from some different pools of eggs that we put together to kind of have quite a few number of easier to find eggs. You know, you got to track them down, kind of straightforward. And then there's a pool of, we usually pick kind of the boss mouse of every area, you know, that important character in an adventure. Pull from a pool of those and select, you know, anywhere from 1 to, I forget, the extreme has more of those on it. I forget how many exactly. But you can see it'll feel very much like a scavenger hunt. These all need to be found as loot drops as well. So that was even one concern while we were putting this together. We'll be keeping a close eye when it goes out, because there's a lot of eggs. So one thing we're a little bit concerned about is for this to work with the scavenger hunt system is these eggs need to drop as loot drops from the mice directly. And some of the eggs, you know, not all the eggs work that way. There are ones that you can visit somewhere in the UI to claim it. There are some that get directly put in your inventory, and you get a journal entry notifying you that you've been given the egg, that sort of thing. But for the scavenger hunt system to pick this up, it needs to be found as loot in the journal entry where it says, you know, additionally the mouse dropped the following loot. It has to be in that list. So we went through, Norm, Jacob, and myself, we sat down together for quite a while, and we went through a spreadsheet of all the eggs in the game, auditing them, tracking them all down, and we think we got this right, but we do have a backup plan. Should there be one egg that isn't incompatible or incompatible with the scavenger hunt system, we'll have to remove that from the egg hunts rather promptly and update all the maps to mark those as complete. Mike, you've been falling behind in egg collecting. There's so many you're missing now. You can check your excavator at any point. That's a good reminder as well. Even if you've opened up an egg in the past, your excavator keeps tabs on which ones you found. So you can kind of check out your collection that way, see how many eggs you've discovered over the many years. Chris, you're really hoping for the Dreller and the Chrono Egg this year, the only two mice you haven't caught yet. The Dreller is one of the, I think, the more compelling uses of rewind charms, I think. So if you have some rewind charms, those may come in handy to try to force an encounter with just the right general. But that is a tricky egg. That's a bit of a tedious one even. I'd say it's bordering out of difficult territory into a little bit of tedium. But, you know, it's okay to have a few like that, as long as they all aren't quite that level of challenge. Summer wins the map event when you have 10 of each map. Do you mean people joining the map? That was the treasure map extravaganza last November. And well, we kind of wrote down a lot of feedback. Not quite sure when or if the next one of those will occur, but you know, probably something we would try again in the future. YX is asking, what can we expect from the M1K egg? Actually, that's another good point. That's another good note. If we go back and we take a look at some of the new eggs that you can find, I have them here below me. And from the art direction, I think you can probably figure out how these eggs are going to be found. I think the art team did a pretty good job of embodying either the mouse or the phase of gameplay, the area where you're going to find these eggs. But YX, I am happy to confirm, actually, over there on the left, that is an M1K egg. And that is a bit of a tricky mouse to track down. That said, just coming out of the birthday event, you probably have some 1000th draft derby cheese kicking around as well. So you may want to save a few pieces because that is a little bit of a tricky egg to collect. The contents are rather fun. It's a difficult to encounter mouse, and sometimes those are the ones you can have fun to put some interesting stuff in there. So I like, you know, actually just yesterday I was going through and running through the egg hunt again, and that was one of the things I did. I hunted down the M1K. I was cracking open a few of the eggs, and they kind of feel pretty good. You know, Lunar New Year is also a great time to be hunting that mouse. But now maybe spring egg hunt as well. It gets a kind of honorable mention or a close second place as well. What else could we take a look at though here for the scavenger hunt? So again, I'm doing the over easy. So this is for, you know, around night level hunters. I think the most difficult mouse or egg on the map, that's a little subjective, but for example, you may have to go to Dracano to find some eggs, hence the night requirement to begin the map. But then you can invite all the way down to novice. Is it novice or recruit? I forget what the minimum requirement is for maps, actually. We can preview the rewards. Gold, points, ancient charms, as you'd expect. This is going to be a good source to get egg sweeper shovels as well, a chance of fertilizers. It'll kind of synergize as well with the egg sweeper game as well. And then just as a fun bonus on top of that, some various resources and supplies that you may have used to go and track down some of those eggs. So it adds a little bit of sustainability. If you start doing a lot of these maps in a row, you won't get back all the stuff you used to track down the eggs, and it's random, you won't get everything. But it'll just replenish your supplies a little bit as it goes. So example, this is the over easy one. You go to the Tribal Isles, you may have to find some eggs that are in Nurg, for example, right? And you get some gumbo cheese, or all the tribes, or like the shell cheese, the crunchy cheese. You may have to go to the mountain and hunt the abominable snow mouse. Well, there's a chance that you find abominable Asiago cheese, and that carries through to the higher tier of egg hunts as well. You get some bonus cheese and hunting materials, resources, just to kind of help sustain your maps a little bit. If you dust them, it adds a chance of fondue, chance of fertilizer, and even more of those items and cheese as well. So it's an opportunity to get some fondue as well by doing something cooperative with some other hunters. You can open up another difficulty of map. Let's give it a try. We have the over medium. The yolks are turning a little firmer. And these ones shell, yeah. It's the time of year for egg puns as well. I think it's an enjoyable time of year all around. The over medium egg hunt scroll case, let's open this one up. So this one you have to be account for. So you can imagine that's the highest title requirement of any area that you may need to visit in order to finish it, unless we've messed up somewhere. So you can see the Corky Monster the Meteor egg. Some Sunken City. Now we did exclude as well some that maybe would be objectively not that fun to go and find, or might be a little frustrating, or might have a rough edge to them. For example, having to be docked in the sunken city, we avoided some of those oxygen eggs, where if you're not diving, if you're already out deep, you won't have to surface to finish up a map. That said, those eggs exist, so if you're looking to be egg master, you still need to surface and find those eggs, but at least not for the maps. You can preview the rewards again. Gold, points, ancient charms, as you'd expect, doing pretty well any type of map. Egg sweeper, shovels, so it's a good opportunity to get some egg sweeper shovels to play egg sweeper with. And just like the easy, you get some various resources and cheese that may come in handy when you're going to do your next medium map, or may recoup some of the supplies that you use to complete that map as well. You have a chance of drilling door blue, that's pretty good. Wildfire is nice. Lunaria, camembert, I wouldn't mind a little bit of that myself. And again, if you upgrade it, chance of fondue, chance of fertilizer, more items, more cheese. You can kind of see the pattern emerging there. Show us what we get from the egg stream map. Tell you what, we'll open up one of each. Why not? Will these egg hunts count as event maps? Yes, they are event maps. So if you're on another map, you will not have to abandon it. If you're on a event map currently, then you should probably activate the constellation mode on that map and finish it up. But you can be doing 2 of these maps, which is kind of unique. It did make us pause for a minute, but ultimately it sounded pretty fun. But this is a little bit potent in that you can be doing 2 maps at the same time, and their objectives will overlap fairly well. So it's kind of a neat opportunity to be making tangible progress on 2 maps simultaneously. Could we get higher appearance rates for elite relic hunter scavenger maps? Maybe based on rank, how to reroll quite a few. It is a little bit of feedback that were written down, and we're kind of hesitant to change anything immediately until we kind of think bigger picture. Maybe there's a whole other system of how the difficulties are determined, right? Like, is it the most fun way to do it, of have to buy a bunch of scrolls, open it, throw it away, open it, throw it away, a lot of clicking? Maybe there's a more fun implementation of that. So we're sort of sitting on that until the right time and place. What are some of the rewards from the new egg scavenger chests? Asks Kevin. Well, we'll keep on opening a couple. We did an easy, we did a medium. Let's take a look at a hard. So this one requires Archduke, which means you might see the floating islands, Valorift, that sort of thing. Let's open up an over hard. This one has 25 eggs on it, so the easy had 15, right? The medium had 20, this one has 25. And these are all in higher level areas. And again, you're gonna have to get a few tricky mice, and this gets pulled together from a few different curated lists where it's okay, pick 3 or 5 difficult ones, pick 10 kind of filler, not too hard to find eggs to put together. So there's a bit of a pattern of how they're pulled together. And again, points, gold, ancient charms, as you'd expect. Shovels, those are consistent. No matter what type of egg hunt map you're doing, you're going to find some egg sweeper shovels. And then those are the types of rewards as well that you'll find resources, relevant items that you're using to complete the map. And just a little sustain. It's not huge quantities of it in a chest or anything like that. Nothing game changing, but just a little bonus while you're going through doing these maps. And just kind of adds a little bit of sustainability, that sort of thing. And if you upgrade it, now you have a chance of fondue. If you dust and you open up a rare chest, adds a chance of finding the fertilizer in addition to the shovels, and more items, more cheese. So we can open up an egg stream. Roger says, oh no, a corky egg. Well, there's a way to hunt corky a little bit reliably as well. If you're sort of in the know, you can track that mouse down a little bit quicker than somebody maybe who doesn't quite know the right setup. Andrew, is Shelder in the pool? No, I don't believe the Shelder egg is on there. So we tried to err on the side of, challenging, fun, trying to avoid some of the more tedious eggs that can be a little bit frustrating, where you feel like you don't have a lot of agency on how it comes around. Again, just kind of more of a guiding principle than a rule. but not like the shelter. You know, even the shelter's a unique egg. Maybe it's a rite of passage that everyone needs to find that egg once. But having to find it multiple times is maybe a goal best set for yourself, not one that the game sets for you, because it's a little above and beyond to find a shelter egg. Or kind of even maybe lesson learned. It was interesting. It was a very popular suggestion, actually. And years and years ago, we're looking for, okay, what eggs should we add to the egg hunt this year? And the shelter was just a huge vocal, at least, vocal popular egg being suggested. And, I wonder if some of the sentiment was, it's fun, the idea of having the egg, having earned the egg. It's a very, sense of accomplishment, like, wow, I did it. But it's not a very fun journey to that destination either. So it's kind of food for thought we've digested a little bit when we think about other eggs or just other areas in gameplay in general. So the last one here, we're going to open up the egg stream. And this one requires Viceroy. I'm trying to recall, I don't have it in front of me, but I think the lowest level area it'll take you to is maybe Grand Duke. So it takes you from Grand Duke to Viceroy areas. I think maybe it's Duke. I forget if it goes down to Duke. I want to say it's Grand Duke though. It's kind of a range. As you do the higher level ones, they won't, for example, this one won't take you to the meadow. I don't even think the hard will take you to that low level of an area. So kind of the goalposts move together as you go up in difficulty, which is also nice if you are just going to collect a bunch of eggs, or maybe you're going for Ultimate Egg Master. Maybe this year you want to try to get one of every single egg, and that gets a little bit harder every year. You might want to do an easy one just to kind of get started and work your way from the beginning to the end of the game, but it depends on how you want to go about it. So the egg stream jumps up in the number of eggs a little bit. You've got 40 eggs to find on the egg stream. And it includes a few more of the very tricky eggs, which generally get generated at the bottom here, just the way the lists are put together. The Ascended Elder, you have to get the Empress. There's, again, a little bit of pattern as well, where I think it won't make you go to the Sky Palace more than once. I don't think the egg stream, or maybe I'm thinking of the hard, but you can see I need Peggy and I need the Empress, so you could do that in one Sky Palace run. I forget if it's set up where maybe you might get 2 Sky Palace eggs, but I wonder if it's 1 actually. Should have maybe left that open in front of me. If you preview the rewards for the egg stream, again, gold points, ancient charms, shovels, that's kind of the standard thing that you're always going to find, and then bonus rewards on top of that. And again, not huge quantities of this stuff, not tiny amounts of it either, but it's just kind of a nice to have bonus on top. Some extra goodies you'll find in the chest just to either replenish some of the resources that you use to complete the map, add that little bit of sustain, or just thematically appropriate things for the type of challenge you just undertook. If you upgrade the egg stream, then it will always have fondue. The other ones added a chance of finding fondue. The egg stream will always have fondue in a rare chest. You will always find fertilizer in a rare egg stream. You'll find some more premium items as well. And wasn't quite sure the right word to use there, but things like condensed creativity, bottled wind, that sort of thing. And even more items and cheese as well. So the egg stream makes a bit of a big jump in difficulty in terms of there's more eggs on the map, and it also adds a few more challenging eggs than typically the other ones would have on their lists. But then the rewards as well make a little bit of a jump where it's not just a chance to find things, it starts guaranteeing that you'll find those things. It adds extra bonuses as well. If you preview this, you can see Bottled Wind, Champion's Fire, Condensed Creativity. When you open up the chest, I think you always see one of those 3. And that's kind of the more premium items, and those get increased. So you'll find more Bottled Wind, Champion's Fire, Condensed Creativity. Was where some of the less challenging maps, they didn't have items quite on that tier. More things like cheese, hunting supplies, charms, things that you're going to be using, but not quite that tier of resource. I mean, the shelter can be frustrating, no way, eh? Ron asking, is there any decision on the M1K solo map being an event map? No, that's not happening. Gary, map clue eggs drop when you're on event maps. I gotta triple check off the top of my head. I'm not quite sure. I think you find that when you find a treasure map clue. And let's see actually if we can get this to trigger. Let's go try to find one egg. What do you think is the easiest egg to find? Bottled Wind. I'm gonna say we can go to the floating islands. and use bottled wind, and we should find that one relatively quickly, wouldn't you think? I'd hope so. Yeah, sure. I don't have any cloud cheesecake. That's okay. I don't think we need cloud cheesecake to find this egg. Sorry, I'm a shadow trap. I don't have any bottled wind. Well, that's going to make it hard. That's going to make it difficult. What else can we find? The Explorer egg. I think you find that when you finish an island, actually. Let's make sure that this one's possible to get. Let's not use dragon vine cheese. I don't think that's going to go too well. Let's try to catch a few more mice here. Sky Conqueror, that's what I was thinking of. Sky Explorer. Now, how do you get a Sky Explorer egg? Let's work together. Who in the chat knows how to go get a Sky Explorer egg? Like 15 years, you don't think you have a shelter yet. It's a tricky one. But that's also what makes it so memorable as well. Like, it has a very strong identity. And you wouldn't want too many mice to be like that. It's just every once in a while, something that's kind of rare like that can be fun. But you need to keep hunting after you've explored the island. Thank you, Norm. Norm's got my back. All right, let's see if we can get this Explorer. Hey, there we go. The Sky Explorer egg dropped on the very next hunt from a kite flyer of all mice. And yes, you get a scavenger hunt hint. So I just wanted to confirm that. You get a scavenger hunt hint. I believe that clue egg, you find it when you find a treasure map clue, not a scavenger hunt hint. Not 100% on that. So you will be finding scavenger hunt hints when you find these eggs as well. Because they are scavenger hunts. You're finding items. Keep hunting, says Jeff. All right, we got there. Finishing the island. That was the one I was thinking of, was the Conqueror egg. That's the one you get when you finish the island. That's an example of an egg that would not work with the egg hunt system because you do not find it as a direct loot drop. I gotta sound my horn. Slick, can anyone join the extreme? Just have to be a viceroy. I believe Grand Duke is the minimum requirement to be invited. It comes down to whatever the lowest level area on that map is typically what the invite restriction gets set to. Or rule of thumb, you can invite somebody. If there's no possible way they can help you finish the map, then they can't be invited to the map. Imagine devs having documentation where to find each egg. It's there. I'm not on my work machine though, and the streaming setup doesn't tend to play too nicely with my work setup. So I gotta switch to this computer where I don't have any of the work stuff on. Isaac asking the important question. Says the mythical dragon egg have a heart? You think there's a mythical dragon egg? Let's see. Let's move this M1K. I don't know. Does that look like a mythical dragon egg? We didn't confirm that there's a mythical dragon egg. We just have to get cracking to find out. Chris, why is the Emmental uncommon, but pirate cheese is rare? It just kind of comes down to how much of you can use of that item. It's not a perfect system either. The treasure map preview, I think there's probably a better version of this. That said, kind of, we have maybe other irons in the fire than to sit down and rebuild this whole thing. But it just kind of goes by the chance of that being in the chest. It doesn't really show quality or anything like that. It's just the chance of it being in the chest. And yeah, Sky Pirate Cheese, you're less likely to see that than Emmental. I don't believe this takes quantity to an effect either. So there's some weird stuff, like let's say there was a 2% chance of finding 100 pieces of something versus a 50% chance of finding one. Wouldn't be smart enough to know, well, on average, if I open enough chests, what am I going to get more of? It's just kind of the chance of it appearing in there. And it's likely because you get more Cloud Cheesecake and you get some more other floating islands items other than the Sky Pirate Swiss. That is a little bit of a special item that you kind of meant to go and find yourself. I just realized I didn't have my screen up. Oh well. I was looking at the rewards there. It's an elder minotaur, eh? The very retired minotaur. Hey Nathan, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. The egg hunt's just around the corner. Wax, will you consider a leprechaun, mouse, and mobster ice eggs next? No, that's a good example of bad ideas for eggs, I think, yeah. And if they were, maybe, that would be fun to add, but you don't need to capture those mice in order to loot those eggs. That might be very challenging. Maybe too challenging of a concept. Well, shall we take care of the trivia as well? I think we've went over pretty much everything spring egg hunt. 11 new eggs, technically 12 with a new tier of egg sweeper eggs. So 12 eggs, I think we can call that, there's 12 new eggs to find. We looked over the new egg hunt maps, the over easy, medium, hard, and egg stream. Ladies Laura's shop is remaining largely unchanged, but the scroll cases are available in there. You buy them with Chocolatonium. Do I have the news post handy here? Let's just browse the news post. I don't think there was anything else to cover. Did want to take note that yes, one of that is an M1000 egg down there, just because 1000th draft derby, you might want to hold on to a piece or two there if you're looking to collect that egg this year. I mean, Egg Sweeper, we could play a round of Egg Sweeper as a refresher of how that works. Shall we play a round of Egg Sweeper? Uh-oh, this is set up, it's cut off, unfortunately. Uh-oh. I think you're going to just be able to see it. So sure, let's fertilize the board. Why not? And as a quick little tutorial here, if anyone needs a memory refresher, these numbers mean, well, there are 2 eggs touching this tile somewhere. I've already found one, so there's got to be one more egg somewhere. There we go. You can use these flags if you like. That's kind of handy if you want to mark a spot where you know there can't possibly be an egg. So there has to be 2 and only 2 touching this tile, which means there can't be an egg there. If you're playing on browser, you can hit F to toggle the egg, the flag on and off as well. It's kind of a handy little tip. Ooh, let's get digging here. Oh, there's a lot of eggs around here. Okay, so there has to be an egg there. All right, one more egg down here. Where's it going to be? Even another one down here. So we got 3. This one needs one more touch. 4. All right, so there can't be one there. 2. This one's only got 1. Can't be an egg there. Uh-oh, I think the appointment that I had might be starting a little bit early. Tell you what, I'm going to be right back, and we may need to wrap things up. All right, well, we did a little egg hunt, egg sweeper refresher as well. I'm just gonna finish that board real quick. Then we may need to do the trivia. What are we doing here? Hold on. Thanks for bearing with me. So egg sweeper, can we finish this board quickly enough? Here we go, we got 4, can't be an egg there. What do we got left to find here? We got a few eggs left on the board. Oops, that was a bad call. All right, can't be one there. Oh, all right, getting closer. Oh, sometimes clicking those, just one-offs can be satisfying. And one more egg, I think. There we go. So they all get a fun little animation, and then those 9 eggs, because you fertilize it, I find 9 large egg sweeper eggs, and as a bonus for playing a fertilized field as well, you get the magical egg sweeper egg as well. So this is one of the new tier 6 eggs. And let's open up one of those so you can see you get Viceroy level things from one of the tier 6 eggs. So that is an important note in case you're just joining us, is the tier 5 eggs. If you have any in your inventory right now, that they will be updated with the game. So you can decide whether you want to open them right now, then you'll get some Viceroy stuff from those tier 5 eggs, whatever was in them last year, so those beanstalk stuff. If you wait to open them after the event, then they won't have those beanstalk items in them anymore, and they'll have more of the Archduke items. So you can kind of decide if you do have tier 5 eggs right now, what you would prefer to do with them. Jedi, you're no good at Minesweeper, eh? So it's a bit of a challenge. Hey, you get pretty good at it playing the Egg Sweeper. There's a good chance to practice for sure. Chris, are there any changes coming to the tournament store system? No, unfortunately, it kind of is what it is, and we just don't have any time to revisit tournaments at the moment. It would be too large of an undertaking than we have people available to work on it at the moment. So there's some long-term plans to revisit it, but for now, it just kind of is what it is, and they're just kind of offered how they are. Well, let's wrap up with trivia as well. Hopefully I hit the answer. Yes. It has something to do with the spring egg hunt, and it is what spring egg hunt mouse is shedding tears. And this is a bit of an odd character for the spring egg hunt. If you weren't present at the iteration of the event where it launched, Fleming, it is not 42. There we go. Swift didn't even miss a beat, knew it was the onion chopper. That makes a lot of sense. It is indeed the onion chopper. She's chopping up some onions to make an omelet. And actually, I'm thinking maybe the description needs a little bit of an updating to at least acknowledge that they're making some omelets. She came out at the same year the Pan Slammer mouse came out, who is a self-proclaimed egg master chef. This was kind of a supporting character to the Pan Slammer mouse, making a whole bunch of omelets. Needed some onions. I'll put this link in the chat as well. To make it easier to click. Oh, I think I got signed out. I can't put it in the chat. This is unfortunate. I think what YouTube does is it'll keep your session active for 2 weeks. And since Jacob and I alternate, I only log in once every 2 weeks. So some point during Feedback Friday, sometimes I get logged out. I need to remember to sign out and sign back in just to have a fresh session ready to go. So I don't know if there is a friendly volunteer in the chat who can type this out manually for me. Might be the easiest way to go about it. If not, take a screenshot now. Actually, I don't know. Did I test this? There we go. YX tested it out. It is indeed. Larry has 5 egg sweeper shovels at that reward link as well. So you can get set up, get a head start on your first egg sweeper board of the year. Well, hunters, that may be a wrap for this early edition of Feedback Friday. So you can look forward to the egg hunt. It is starting April 1st, so that's just around the corner. You might want to be doing a little bit of prep. I know that's something a lot of hunters like to do. Think about which eggs you want to prioritize. Start setting yourself up in different phases. For example, if you need a Minotaur egg, you might want to get to the point where you're ready to enter the Minotaur layer, that sort of thing. Ice Wing, you might want to get down to the bottom of the iceberg, whichever eggs you want to set up. If you're looking to just kind of collect them once, move on to finish a collection. Or you may want to stock up on supplies if you're looking to farm a particular type of egg. And actually, I kind of got caught a little bit. I didn't realize I was so low on Linaria petals. And so I am spending this weekend to try to collect as many of them as I can to keep on hunting Twisted Carmine to get some eggs as well. Can't wait for the egg hunt. Not too long to wait. Well, again, thank you for joining me, hunters. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. Most likely Jacob next week. We'll see. But unless there's a change of plans, that'll probably be the routine as normal. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next time.
trap, you're a trap. Don't seem to mind it. You attract me. I'm a mouse, you're a cat. I don't seem to mind it. Soft and furry. Oh, and just when I think I'm safe, snap. Turns out I'm never safe, snap. Just when you think you're safe, snap. I come back. You don't seem to mind it, but I'm a fool. Broke my back. You don't seem to mind it, 'cause you're so cruel. And just when I think I'm safe, snap. Turns out I'm never safe, snap. Ooh. And just when you think you're safe, snap. Turns